Kamera video guys re tla ba re bolela ka finance akere. So finance ra tseba hore ke topic e le hore dila ka ditjhelete. So I'm going to be trying my best to help distinguish the toughness of the finance topic at grade 8 and 9. So guys, we know at this point re tla ba dila ka the money and the interest. Before ke tsenela deep I want you guys to understand the interest it's a when someone charges you with an interest, whether it's a loan or maybe no investor in a bank, interest, what do they mean? What they actually mean go a certain amount. For example, if they say 10 rand, maybe you took a loan 10 rand and then maybe we wish with an interest of 50%. What this actually means is that go nyaka 50% of this money. And from grade 7, you know how to find 50% of, you know how to find percentage of other amounts, right? So you just take this 10 rand and multiply, it's 50%, and then you get 5 rand. So this 5 rand is considered to be the interest amount. Reisha kae this interest amount ga ere gore go kolotile 10 ranta ka go charge ka 50% interest gore are wena o e busha ka 5 ranta. No, this means gore tšhelete wena o e kolotang, the total amount owed, the total amount you owe e tlo lekana le the original amount ela o e kolotang plus the interest amount, which is this one. So this means gore wena o tlo kolota 15 rand. This is what we mean by interest, and this is how interest works. Discuss about simple interest. Simple interest, guys, is more like about charge interest. Don't focus on this example, please. Bago charge your interest via maybe a long period of time. Let's say maybe ke re go fa mengwaga e mebedi gore o nkolot gore o mpatele 10 rand and then go fa mengwaga e mebedi gore o e patele, and then go charge le 50% rate. So what happens in simple interest is that ge ngwaga o la mathomo o fela o sa tla mpatela, okay, already mengwaga o la mathomo ke shetse go charge le 50%. Or the moment we jija tšhelete la ke re go charge 50% rate, o yo e busha swanetse o no e busha ka 15 rand. So ge ngwaga wa mathomo o kolotileng ka ona o ka feta o sa tla mpatela, then ngwaga o la go latela interest yela re add gape gore re add another 5 rand to the 10 rand, wa ra re no so o kolota 20 rand, o sa kolota 15 o kolota 20 rand. So simple interest is like ba add that interest after but they add that interest ge ngwaga o fela but go be a specific time. So let me not just confuse you. Get straight to how we apply the formula and all that. So the formula is simple interest whereby A is equal to P into 1 plus I. This is I plus IN or I times N. When numbers or variables are close together like this, they're actually multiplying each other. This is the formula of simple interest. Every simple interest, you're going to be using this formula. So it's very important to mark it down somewhere. So more A is the accumulative amount. I like to start ka P, but let me just start ka A. The accumulated amount. I like to call it, I can say we got the other books which are the accumulative, but I like to call it the accumulated amount. Why? Because the word accumulate means go gobakantsha. So when you're talking about the accumulated amount, ke tšhelete e tlang mafelelong, tšhelete e le goreng e gobakane e tlhakane le di interest. Ke le feel example ka loan ya 10 rand, ka re mafelelong o tlo kolota 15 rand. 15 rand ela go gopola gore ke tšhelete ela o ikolotišitšeng plus interest. So wa bona gore e gobakantše yela ke interest plus tšhelete o ikolotišitšeng. It is accumulated. Therefore the accumulated amount re bitša the final amount. Also no go bitša the accumulative, o ka re ke the final amount, whereby e re botša gore ke tšhelete e re kry-ang after a loan or after an investment. Ora re ka mkgola example la 10 ranta, 15 rantela e be re tlo re ke A because ke tšhelete re kry-ileng mafelelong after a loan. E tlhakane le di interest. It is accumulated. ke tšhelete ya mafelelong. I think it is self-explanatory. So rabale our P, which is our principal amount, or rather the first amount or initial amount. Rabongo bakare is the first amount or the initial amount. The initial amount. Let me increase the font a little bit. Yeah. Ke tšhelete e tlang before an investment or a loan, or tšhelete o e šomišang for an investment le tšhelete o e gopelang for a loan. Ke the first amount. O ka gopola ka gore okay, ka sekolong the principal always comes first. Go ra gore le mo ka tšheleteng P e la rena ka gore ke the principal amount, ke tšhelete e tlang pele. So go ra re ge wena o nkgopela 10 ranta, 10 ranta ela it is considered to be the principal amount because ke tšhelete ya mathomo ga ra tla re add interest, ga ra tla re add selo, it is the principal amount. Or go ya go investor o tšhela 1000 ka re ga bank, that money is your initial amount, it is your principal amount. Ke gona o sa ya go thoma. Go tshwana le ge o ye o bula an account ka bo FNB or anywhere, ge o ya o bula that account, tšhelete eo yang go e deposit or tšhelete eo yang go e tsentšha ka kua ya mathomo, it is your principal amount, ke tšhelete ya mathomo. Okay, hope it makes sense. And then we have one ke one ke reng ka se ke ngola ke constant. Then we have I. When we're talking about I, we're talking about the interest rate. Ke spell gabotse interest rate. Note that our interest rate should always be in decimal. Ba ka no go fa in decimal, that's fine, but sometimes ba go fa usually, let me just write it as deci utakushisha, usually ba re fa our interest rate in percentage. So that is when you're going to have to convert it to decimal by dividing ka 100. Okay? Then we have the N, the period or the number of years. The period, yeah, the loan, the period of the investment, whatever, it is usually in years. It is always needed in years. The formula, early in years. So if they give you in months, you must take it to the years. How? By dividing by 12. Guys, with the example like I was just taking out the data. This is the formula. A the accumulated amount, which is the final amount. P the initial amount. I the interest rate. Yellow ring, how it's the formula, be in decimal always. And then the N is the period or the number of years. Yellow ring yona, it is always needed in number of years. And you are in the years. Okay? Let's go back to the example. Now this example says Kevin took a loan of 5,000 from a bank. The bank charged him with a simple interest. Let me highlight this thing. Took a loan of 5,000 rand from a bank that charged him with a simple interest of 15% per annum. PAA per annum. Per annum era per year. This interest like barile ngwago ka fela re add 15%. Ngwago la tela wa fela re add 15%. That is what it means. Calculate how much I think there's an error here, but it's fine. Calculate how much will he owe after 5 years. Calculate how much he will owe after 5 years. This is the data from the statement. Before we question, just take out your data. You know this is finance, and this is simple interest. Always, but guide in your statement. Are we going to use simple interest or compound interest formula now? So mo ba shit ba re butse ro shumisha ya the simple interest. Yellow right about A equal to P into 1 plus I A. This is our formula. So before you will calculator, lay out your data. Just say A, P, I, and N. So barely Kevin took a loan of 5,000 rand from a bank. What does this sentence verifying? Verify the principal amount. Now, why get the principal amount? Remember, principal amount is the starting amount. Ka loan or investment or deposit, whatever. So, Osaya bank, Uchia 5,000 as a loan. That's the first amount. So, P. Then now it says the bank charged him with a simple interest of 15%. We know that is the interest rate. I get interest rate ya rena I ke 15%, but ra tseba gore ba inyaka in decimal. So you just say 15, you are divide ka 100, and then it go fa 0.15. That is the decimal form ya 15%. Go e tsentšha hodima formula o tsentše so o tsentša e le so e le the decimal form. Then ba re calculate rena le number of years, ba re recalculate gore how much will he have after 5 years, and ba re file in years, so ye sharp a tlhoke convert 5 years. So before you ya question o shetse o bona gore okay a ke na A, so obviously go ra re question la gona e tlo re nyaka A, a ke re ka se re nyaka P cause o nine. So yes, the question does say A because it calculate how much he will owe after 5 years. Ba no go tsa re mafelelong ga 5 years ba edile di interest rate tse weng ba delaying motho o tla ba kolota bokae. Right? So now that's where the formula comes in. Now ra substitute again from the formula. Rena le P R na there, it's 5,000 1 plus our interest rate is 0.15. 0.15. Guys, remember Asiba Gofiona in 0.15. So there are two ways in which you can do this. Before the formula, Ogaba Boncha separate like this. Ware I eleganale 15. I get feel as 15%. 15 divided by 100, which is equal to 0.5. Go boncha gore 0.15. Go boncha gore o convert it to decimal, or you can do it straight from the formula. Go we diela go dimo ga formula ga go ra ro tla re 15 kana mo godimo ga formula divided by 100 in this way, and then what times the number of years parallel after 5 years, then you close. So go avoid go tlhaudia the error, simplifier, just press this whole thing in your calculator kana mkhono ben ka gona and say 5,000 into 1 plus 15 over 100 multiplied by 5, and then it's going to give you the value of 8,750 rand. Remember, this is money, so it's 8,750 rand. In over square can the cent or the coin. So error Kevin after 5 years utlaba kolota this amount of money, 8,700. Let's look at another example. You have invested 100 rand into a bank offering simple interest of 20% per annum. How much will you have after 120 months? We know already we invested 1,000 into a bank that offer a simple interest of 20% per year, rather per annum, per year or per year. How much will you have after 120 months? They already given us a clear Roshimisha this formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus IN. Now we lay out our data aside for A ya rena arenayo. P renayo, it's our principal amount. Barile u investile 100 rand. Hoya re mothoki initial amount ya child I will pele ke 100 rand ke the principal amount. Then interest rate barile ke 20%. 20% get like convert our dimara formula, and then the number, the n, which is the period, but file 120 months. All right, now reverka so let's go back to the formula. We already know okay, interest in decimal, the n in years, right? So let's go back to the formula. Do we have our A? No. So how much will you have after 120? Tlaba ona le bokae ka banking ka morago ga 120. Mola re edile di interest re accumulate. So A is the amount that we're looking for. Now let's substitute P ke 100. That's the first amount into 1 plus the interest is 20%. Arinyaki in percentage renaga in decimal or we convert 20% 20 divided by 100 multiplied by the number of years, but fill it in months, but fill it in 120 months. And we know to move from the months to the years, divider got 12 because there are 12 months in a year. So we want to know out of 120 months, so we'll divide 120 by 12. So if you want to simplify this, you can, but it's not necessary, guys, because but why the mistake I was simplify. You can just press it kana mkhono wa kry answer straight away, or o ka simplifier or 1 plus this one it will 0.2 or 0.20, and then multiplied by this one it will 10. Okay, or no, is it going to give us 10 or is it going to give us 1? Yes, 10. There we go. And then maybe we'll press a calculator. How come when we say 100 into 1 plus 0.2 or 0.20 multiplied by 10, it gives us 300. After after 10 years, 120 months, o tla ba ka banking ya gage a na le 300 rand. This is how simple interest works, guys. It gola very slow in terms of the investment. It gola very slow. Re compare le compound interest ka di-video tša compound interest. This is the usage of the formula. Re shumisha manually, re sa shumishe ka formula. We can just say, okay, Mutako kolotishi, I mean, uche investor 100 rand. Banke ere, no, go be 100 rand. Rena re tla go okeletša charity ka 20% ngwaga o mongwe le o mongwe. Okay, so what are re naka the 20% of 100. Remember ba rile ba naka 20%, ba tlo oketša ka 20%. So when our 100 multiplied by 20%, and then ya go fa 20 rand, not 10 rand but 20 rand. Gore ba banka ba rile okay ka re o investile 100 rand, rena ngwago mongwe le o mongwe. Why ke re ngwago mongwe le o mongwe? Ke e bona by the word per annum, PA, e ra gore ngwago mongwe le o mongwe. So ba re ba tla e oketša every year ka 20 rand, then ba dira bjalo ba e oketša ka 20 ranta every year up until 10 years. That's why ke tšere 20 rand ela ka multiply ka 10 years, and then go ka re 20 multiplied by 10, you're going to get the value of 200. Go ra re tšhelete e ba e okeditše ka, ke ra gore for mengwaga e le 10, tšhelete ba mfile yona ke 200. Go ra gore ebile 20 ranta ya ngwaga mathomo, 20 ranta ngwaga bobedi, wa boraro, wa bo 4, wa bo 5, up until ngwaga bo 10. Ge e fitlha ngwaga bo 10, tšhelete la ba e okeditšeng yela ba mfileng yona 20 ranta e be e dia 200. Ma remember, a se tšhelete ye fela, tšhelete e 200 ya fileng ke banka e kry-ile go na le 100 ranta ka kwa gare ga banka ye e beileng ke motho. So 100 plus 200 ela bona ya dira 300. This guy will invest 100 rand into a bank, then one more gore okay, na re tla go fa, re tla oketša tšhelete ya gago ka 20% ngwaga o mongwe le o mongwe. So ngwaga mathomo wa feta ba mo fa 20 ranta, wa bobedi ba tsentšha 20 ranta. O gopola gore ka re ga banka already go dutše 100 ya investile, then ngwaga mathomo wa feta ba add 20 ranta, ngwaga bobedi wa feta ba add 20 rand up until ngwaga wa bo 10, then tšhelete ela ka moka ya dia 300.